Canada should be the richest country in the world. We have the second biggest landmass in the world, the third biggest proven oil reserves, sixth biggest lithium reserves, the biggest uranium and potash reserves, 154 million acres of farmland, and 4 coasts that are either on or leading to tidewater. We have an abundance of energy for data centers and cold weather to cool them down. We have 41 million highly educated, brilliant people ready to get it done. So why aren't we the richest country in the world? The answer? Gatekeepers. We can't get out of our own way. It takes more than 17 years to get the average mine approved and built in Canada. We have the second slowest permits in the OECD. In the first 5 years of this Liberal government, $176 billion of resource and energy projects were canceled, mostly due to government obstacles and rules. These projects would have made us more self-reliant and less dependent on the United States. There's the Energy East pipeline that would have brought 1 million barrels of Western oil to New Brunswick every single day. The company canceled the project after spending $1 billion on getting it approved after the Liberal government suddenly changed the environmental rules. Another project, the Northern Gateway, would have brought Canadian oil from Alberta to the Pacific and on to Asia. Justin Trudeau vetoed that one, a decision Mark Carney endorsed in testimony at a parliamentary committee not long afterward.
Do you support the Prime Minister's decision to veto the Northern Gateway pipeline, Mr. Carney?
I understand the veto of the Northern Gateway pipeline.
Do you support it?
I think it was sensible. I wasn't involved in the decision, but I think it was the right decision.
Carney opposed pipelines in Canada while his company bought pipelines in the Middle East and Asia.
It's clear that this is not about the environment. If it were, you'd be consistent and you'd oppose fossil fuels everywhere. But you're happy to profit off of foreign fossil fuel companies while killing jobs among our own people.
Radical Liberal keep it in the ground ideology opposes Canadian resources while supporting dirty foreign oil. Most of all, C-69, the Liberal No New Pipelines law, makes it effectively impossible to get any project approved. The consequence is that the U.S. gets 97% of our oil exports and 100% of our natural gas exports. Because we can't sell to anyone else, the Americans rip us off. They pay $63 a barrel for our oil, while the world price is $76. They pay $4 per million British thermal units, while the price in Europe is $15. Here's a simple equation for our Liberal friends. When you sell something for $4 that is worth $15, you get really poor really fast. And because we do not have an east-west pipeline, the oil Quebec buys from Alberta must run through American pipelines, meaning they could cut us off from ourselves at any time. Enough. Let's build Canada again. It's time to put Canada first. It's time to bring home our jobs, energy, and economic sovereignty. And that is what my Bring It Home economic plan will do. And so today I'm introducing the Canada Shovel Ready Zones. Canada Shovel Ready Zones will be areas already permitted for construction. Here's how we'll get it done. First, we will identify a spot that makes sense for, say, a power station, LNG plant, pipeline, or other major project. Second, we'll make sure it is a safe place that won't harm people or the environment. Third, my government will work with other levels of government to lock down the zoning and permits in advance. Fourth, we'll offer pre-permitting before even getting an application so that permits could be published online with a checklist that businesses would have to complete in order to protect nature and people. Then, businesses could buy the land, move in, hire people, and build, knowing they already have the permits. Let me be clear about this. It's not that the permits will simply be faster, it's that they'll be already done. So think of an area that we identify that is perfect for liquefying and exporting gas. We would publish a permit online with the normal safety and environmental requirements. And then companies could come in immediately, buy the rights for it, and begin building, hiring local First Nations and other Canadians to generate the paychecks in order to liquefy that gas, ship it off to Asia in order to break Asian dependence on coal, or send it off to Europe to break European dependence on Russian gas, turning dollars for dictators into paychecks for our people. We'll unleash hundreds of billions of dollars of investment in power plants, nuclear energy, mines, pipelines, data centers, and much more. These places will be humming with the sounds of construction equipment as you will see hardworking and talented Canadian workers going around doing the job and expecting big, beautiful six-figure paychecks to fill their bank accounts. Welders, boilermakers, pipe fitters, miners, and factory workers will be able to spend those paychecks at local restaurants and other businesses, creating even more powerful paychecks. The economy will boom, raising funds for hospitals and schools. Most of all, we will be less reliant on the Americans. In fact, we will be self-reliant, sovereign, and stand on our own feet, to stand up to the Americans and stand up for ourselves, for a change. And we will restore Canada's promise that hard work gets you a great life in a beautiful home, on a safe street protected by solid borders and brave troops under a proud flag. Canada. Let's bring it home.
Great video. Great message.